Oh man, look at that. Look at that. That's us on the screen. Hello, happy Pride Month. And welcome to another special edition of that Cybert channel where I'm joined by Rye Toast as we're going to absolutely demolish this tabletop RPG that maybe you could play it by the end of the night. I doubt it, but we'll see. Maybe. We'll find out. But I know I just kind of like quickly like ran past it really quick. But happy Pride Month to everyone.
Freddie's voguing in honor of Pride.
Exactly. Oh, thanks, Freddie. Huge appreciation on that one. I figured that normally I don't really do much about it, and that's mostly because I am straight white male. But I figured let's add a little spice to the stream, and just you're loved no matter who you are, and I'm excited that you're all here today. I hope that worked.
Yeah,
I did.
For the one more for Pride. There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Absolutely legendary. So today we've already put in a lot of work on our kind of baseline. So today I think we're going to get a bit more into the nitty-gritty. We need to decide how anything works. Like, what dice are we using? Are we doing the D20, which I think we already have up there, D20 system.
But are we sold on it?
Yeah, exactly. Are we going to go, okay, we need to change this. And then I want to get into some fun stuff, like some attacks today. I think that would be a lot of fun. So, as always, chat, we would love it if you go ahead and like give your thoughts as we're going along. We'll come to you to just be like, does this look right? And you will say either yes or no. Yes, Film Fanatic, hot cheese, the ultimate move of all time.
Talking about dice, I immediately had an idea.
Okay.
How many slices does a pizza have?
Typically?
Typically. Like usually.
8?
D8 system. For the slices.
Are we going to make it a D8 system?
I don't know, but I'm just saying.
Let's just parentheses D8 system.
D8 pizza?
How many slices does a FNAF pizza have? That's
a good question. I wonder if it's 6, like the wall decals.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Also, is that Calinetto Productions? Thank you so much for the membership and the $10 dues. Thank you so much. Get a D8 pool system. Oh, shoot. I forgot about everyone's favorite part of the stream. This is the chance for me to say hi to you. So if first person to say hi, I will read off highs as quickly as I go while Rye Toast looks up how many slices are on a pizza. It'll be perfect. So, Ima, Thiago Max, Jack King, Comrade Bobcat, Olivia, Enid, The Eggsman, Film Fanatics, Hyperthrust, Lauren, Fable Rain, Mike, The Max FX, Inkline Game Studio, Golden Eagle Squad, Susan Murphine, Desolate Mass, The Meme Man, Waff OS, Simp Moobles, Moodles,
Hi Moodles,
J-Dog Peely, Foxy Guy, Damien, Ghastly Gamer, MCO7, Aiden, Evil Cylinder, Kev, Cloned Gamer, Aaron Horn, Adam, Danny Gamer, Kimberly, I already got Jay, Walnut, Strasburg, Lindley Verge, Caliendo Productions, got it. Glitch King, Microphone, Styxosaurus, Justin, Osali, the Protogen, I'm the guy 459, I will find you. That's creepy. Dollar Store, Jason Statham, Quack Trap, Crasher, I think I got everyone. Damaged Kiwi, Kevin the Not So Smart says water. I like water. Andre, and then Meme Lord with the $5. What if you made an attack called Too Cheesy, where a player has to tell a bad joke for psychic damage? Also, hello.
So it's just vicious mockery, but funnier.
Yeah, but funnier. Blue X Dalek, hello. Ruben Rays, hello. I've had my name butchered. I did it. See, if I keep telling people it's a privilege to have your name butchered, then every time that I absolutely destroy someone's name, everything will be fine. It'll be great. It's gonna be cool.
Actually, that also reminds me that they just, somewhat of a tangent, they just added a new move in the newest Pokemon game.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite move. It's called Chilly Reception. It's a non-damaging move. It basically, what does it do? What does it do? Where'd it go? Here it is. It summons a snowstorm and switches out. But the flavor of it is the user tells a chillingly bad joke before leaving. So it's literally just say a joke so bad it summons a snowstorm and then dip.
It just dips.
It's so good.
Just legendarily terrible stand up.
Oh yeah, and it's
then just,
only able to be learned by Slowking.
That tracks. That tracks. Did you find out how many pieces of pizza?
So I sent you a picture.
Okay.
The decal is not pre-sliced, but there are decals in the back that have slices taken out.
Oh yeah.
Without pumping that into Photoshop, I would wager to bet that's a 8-slice pie because that looks like a skinny slice.
Let's see. Let's pop it in this window here. So chat, you can see. There goes Rye Toast because Discord is terrible. I don't know, man. That's a pretty big slice. Oh, it's really hard to... No, I think you're right. I think it's 8.
I think it might be 8. It's hard to tell. Here's I'm gonna be super real as who I am, true to who I am with you. Scott might have just not measured it. So there's that possibility that it's like 7.5 and he just didn't care.
It's I mean, if everyone's been seeing Chuck E. Cheese pizza with its random sizes and shapes, might as well.
I loved that conspiracy because it was like, do you really think it's that and not just underpaid workers making pizzas really quick?
Yeah. I mean, so, Arkham's razor sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the simplest solution. There's a teenager in the...
You really think a corporation would recycle? Let's be real.
Yeah. Joe the OK, thank you for the $5. Happy I caught you before heading to bed. I'm going to be a dungeon master for the first time soon. Any tips for storytelling or scenarios? I can tell you right now, the one thing you should just be ready for is improv, because things are going to get out of hand. So don't have a strict script. Have loose points that you could put into any character. That helps a ton.
If you ever want to plan like a super cool dungeon, but you're not sure if they're going to go, like it's not a required thing for the plot, always flesh it out enough that you're comfortable improving the last 10 steps.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have this really fun boss fight that you want them to encounter, and if they don't go for it, they don't go for it, but you want to put it in their path, flesh it out just enough that you can pivot it to a place that feels natural. And and I learned this in improv, always just as important as yes and is no but. It's okay to say no, but give them an alternative.
Yeah, that's the one thing about improv is like yes and does tend to make you like go, oh, I can only agree. It's like, no, you can. There's ways to agree with an argument.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you have to agree to their reality, and so there's ways to kind of nudge them on the path that you want them to.
And the DM's living motto: you can try.
Yep, you can try. Also, chat, I do realize I said Arkham's Razor for whatever reason instead of Occam's Razor. So, you know what? Arkham's Razor. You'll always end up in Arkham.
Yeah.
Everyone escapes Arkham.
People are trying to figure out how Joker always has a cleanly shaven face, but Occam's razor was Arkham's razor.
God, that was good. Damn it.
Play me a half speed rim shot there. Just bump.
Boom. Oh, what's up, FNAF? Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hello. All right, let's get
Okay.
Let's dive into this. So,
Yeah, get to brass tacks.
yeah, let's just really quickly go over everything we have. So, chat, if there's anything that we forget, let us know, and give us feedback as we're going through. So, we know for stats, we want to do durability, mobility, performance, processing, and fright. With durability kind of being also tied to your strength as well, because if your endoskeleton's strong or durable, it's going to hit harder. Mobility is your dex. Performance being the charisma. Processing being essentially intelligence, wisdom, and then fright just being its own completely separate thing. We have 6 endos right now. We have and these are essentially the races from what we did, because we tried to make the actual suits the races, and it did not work.
Yeah.
It was too confusing. So, Endo 1, so FNAF 1 Endos, that has a bonus to durability, mobility, penalty to processing and performance. Endo 2 from FNAF 2, durability +2, -2 to mobility. Nightmare Endos is a +2 to fright, -2 to performance. Funtime Endo, +1 to performance and processing, -2 to fright. Rockstar Endo, performance +2, durability and mobility -1. Glamrock Endo, processing +2, fright and durability -1. And then we have the shells, or the suits, that we wanted to kind of decide. We decided essentially determines what kind of class you are, or what.
And to be clear, chat, the suits can fit onto any endoskeleton.
Yes.
It's not strict in that. Yes, a toy in FNAF, a toy costume would not fit on an Endo 01, but woo, land of make believe. Now they can.
Yeah. For the sake of allowing custom characters, and
for the sake of a fun game.
Yeah, for the sake of a fun game, this is what we decided would be good, because we tried to be like, oh, well, if you're a bear, then you'll do this, and then it spun out of control so fast and so hard, to the point where we're like, it's better to let the shells be the class. So your classic, because they're bulkier, that's your tank, your shielder. We called it shielder because that's what the moves are in FNAF World. Toy is DPS. Phantom is debuffing. Grim is AoE. Springlock is specialist, which is essentially your insta-kill,
Poisoner,
poison.
Yeah.
Circus is buffing. And Retro, which we want it to be Glamrock, but we already have Glamrock Endo, so we need to change one of the names, is healer.
Someone in chat did point out, and this is technically controversial, but we could rename the Glamrock Endo to Mimic Endo, freeing up the word Glamrock for the suit.
Uh-huh.
Now, we don't have confirmation that the endos are mimics, but I mean, I'm comfortable with it.
I'm comfortable. The more I've dived into what Mimic is.
Hey, welcome to Tales from the Pizzaplex. I hate it here.
It's rough, but I'm down to do Mimic Endo. Also makes sense with the processing +2.
Oh yeah, that is true. Because that's like the most advanced endoskeleton we have,
Yeah.
processing wise.
Then we could do glam rock. Thank God. I like that so much better.
Agreed.
Pepperman Pepinos. Hello, welcome to stream. Okay. So, and we have skills. I forgot we got the skills. So jump scare is jump scare. Let's eat is cooking. Showtime is entertain. Hello is persuasion. Save them is medicine. Go is your athletics, acrobatics sort of stuff. Lore is lore. It's me is insight. Exotic butters, distraction. Was that the bite of 87? Investigation. Silverized perception. Connection terminated. Hacking. Washoo! Ninja skill. I tried to do the voice and then half-assed.
That's pretty good.
Washoo!
No, you gotta
skills.
constrict the throat to get it. Here, hold on.
Oh, that. This is important.
Wazoo, ninja skills.
Wazoo! Ninja skills. We're awesome and we were great.
Yeah, you constrict the throat to make it less resonant.
Oh, yeah. I see you.
It takes a second to get out of that.
Yeah, I know. Stealth. Reluctant followers, animatronic handling. You will burn, intimidation, and follow me is deception. So, I don't look. I will cause irreversible damage to my vocal cords if it's for the joke.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Do we want to tackle numbers yet? Because that's a big question mark that will inform how other things work.
I at this point in time, we're about to get into equipment, which I have some. I've done a little thinky think, and I have some ideas.
Ooh.
Spells is essentially converting some of these. Like I have the attacks.
Oh, can you link me that doc again?
Yeah.
I didn't. I went to grab it and didn't see it.
I'm like trying to get it so I don't just have the link out in the open.
Oh yeah.
I don't need any of you guys getting into here.
Get out of there.
Yeah, get out. At least not yet.
Yeah.
Oops, I accidentally opened Audition. No, thank you. Can we become Balloon Boy? Yes, you can. That would be, I guess, like
I mean, you could flavor any of the suits into a Balloon Boy. It would just change what that Balloon Boy looks like.
Yeah. The big thing, and I think this was what we really wanted to help focus on, was allowing anyone to create their own endo, because there is a never-ending supply of OCs, of animatronics, and while we're creating this, we're keeping that in mind because we want you to be able to take your OCs and play them in this game. Or, you know, if you wanted to do a Five Nights at Candy's one shot, you should be able to like take this and put it in.
We'll get into equipment later, but immediately I was like, I mean, yeah, you could just have a humanoid animatronic and find some balloon equipment. It's like, hold on, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, getting way ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
So,
all right,
I think we need to do numbers. And,
yeah, all right.
And I'm trying my
dice to help visualize.
Yeah,
My dice are over there. 1 sec.
Oh, my dice
I
are
need to look at
downstairs.
dice.
Yeah, hold on. Hey, wife. Hey, Alyssa. Could you bring up my dice?
Oh.
I need my dice. I would love you forever. I still do, but I'll love you even more forever.
To get a good camera angle, chat, my chair is up because I bought a tall chair, so it's currently 32 inches high. So it's very hard to get back into. If you're wondering why I got off my chair and got shorter. Just let me go get my dice real quick.
Oh, it was beautiful. All right, so
okay.
the big thing is not wanting to just carbon copy D&D stats over.
Yeah. Well, it's a matter of not wanting to copy D&D, but also having a reason for choosing it other than it's not D&D.
Exactly. Thank you, wife. You are the best wife.
Now, if I remember correctly, in FNAF World, numbers were really big.
They went high really fast.
They went high. If we want to tap into that, we can cheat by doing the Yu-Gi-Oh system, where numbers go into the thousands very frequently, but the only numbers that matter are the 1,000 and 100th place.
Oh, that's not bad.
Because in Yu-Gi-Oh, like, you start with 8,000 life points, and Magic you start with 20. It's like, that's crazy. It's like, yeah, but 8,000 goes a lot quicker than 20 does.
Yeah, it's not like you're doing 10 damage every single time.
Yeah.
FNAF trap cards. You fell into my spring trap.
Locks? Yeah. Just a spring lock suit?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I have my dice here so we can practice some rolls.
Part of me, and it's terrible because 12s are inconsistent in almost every way, but part of me wants to make a D12 system just because the D12 is like so underused.
Yes.
But it might be underused because the 12 making anything based off of the number 12 kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, but I mean, like, there's D6 systems.
True.
And honestly.
But it's a lot easier to buy multiple D6s than multiple D12s.
Yeah, exactly. So we need to decide whether you're going to be able to play this game by essentially buying a bunch of D6s or a 7 piece set.
Yeah.
And I don't mind still using a 7-piece set. There's plenty of other things that work like that. But so I was trying my hardest to look up what is the actual like calculations, like under the hood, how is damage calculated in FNAF World. And it was really, really hard to figure out, like, just... I thought it was going to be simple, like someone goes into, Click Studio?
Yeah, just finds the, like, X times 4.
Yeah, exactly. But no one just pointed that out. But the one thing they do point out is that it's very tied to level.
Yeah, that tracks. Because you level up also a lot in FNAF World.
Yeah, so what we need to do is we need to find a middle ground between these two.
We might also want to, speaking of leveling up a lot, that's kind of one of the like things most people remember is finishing a fight and hearing the child cheering sound effects 17 times. So I wonder if we can make levels happen, be able to level a character incredibly quickly based on a number and possibly just add milestones to further apart numbers. Like maybe there's some kind of stat that gets like every time you level up, 1 gets added to it. And it's like, oh, you gain 17 levels, add 17 to that. But when you turn like level 50, you get a thing.
Right.
It's something to think about.
That's not a bad idea. I don't mind quick leveling. And having like a cap at 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, levels are smaller but more frequent. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it could even be tied to those specific stats. So like these bonuses. So you could do something like every 5 levels, your bonus stats go up, and every 10, everything raises.
I could see that. And then like every level you get like a small amount of health up or something like that.
You'll get health. It'll adjust your damage a little bit.
Yeah, but every 5 stat, every 10, everything. Yeah, I see that.
So level cap, say 100 for now. Obviously, you can go as high as you want.
And then at like, oh yeah, and then that would naturally lead those endos to progressively get better in the thing they specialized in.
Yeah. So every 5 levels, bonus stats go up. Every 10 levels, bonus, like all stats go up.
Yeah.
I think that's a good one. Also, hello, Fake Dan, and I'm so sorry you are feeling ill. Stop it. There you go. You're cured. Simple as that. Okay, so how do we determine stats?
Well, I feel like because stats inform a lot of decisions.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of, do we figure out how we would want a combat to function and then figure out what stats would allow us to get there, or make stats and figure out how combat would function because of them,
I like thinking combat first.
and then using that to inform the stats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we might be doing some mock battles. Let's go.
Oh boy. Hold on. I got this.
Okay, so now we gotta jump all the way down to action. So combat, obviously, it's turn-based. I don't think there's a world where you can't just, as Hyper Enthusiast just said, we have to have a we have to have initiative for turn order.
No, we definitely have to have some kind of initiative. And as much as I like the idea of certain systems where it changes per round to make it more dynamic, that feels I've never seen it run well.
No, and I want to make this system a little simpler because, and this is just something we need to address, is that the audience for FNAF tends to lean younger, and so it should be a
little more user friendly.
Easy. Yeah, exactly. To the point where I'd almost say you don't roll for initiative; it's whoever has the highest mobility.
I could see that. I mean, it also turns into that more often than not anyway.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a specific image. That's
roll
not a WebP file, because OBS does not play well with WebP.
Stupid OBS. Well, not OBS, WebP. Whoever created WebP is dead to me.
I like WebP now that Adobe's will actually talk to it. But there was a couple, 3 to 4 months there that were terrible.
It was awful. It was so bad. Tie free. Hello, and thank you for the $10. No, WebPs have been our kryptonite at Theorist until recently. Like every time it was WebP, it's like, oh cool, now I have to go find some way to convert this damn thing.
Yep. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just take this WebP and convert it to a .gif.
All right, let's see. Close that. So I guess for the chat, no, we have to have some sort of movement. Yeah.
Yeah, I think because right now, the most common system, D&D, you have movement, action, bonus action, and interaction that's always wishy-washy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like movement and action are really the only two you need. And then actions you take could have bonus actions, but I feel like having a separate bonus action is not necessary.
Okay, yeah, I think, all right, hear me out on this one, because I think this might be a great way of doing things. So you have action, movement, and then what is it? Your bite action.
Okay.
Because I think we need to have bites tied into this game in some way, because they are an interesting part of FNAF World as far as making or breaking your runs.
Yeah. No, I think I agree with that. I kind of forgot about bites for a second there.
I also don't mind if like, I mean, and when we go through and like,
I got it ready for the mock battle. I'm so ready.
You can't do that to me. You can't just casually put that up there.
I'm so ready for the mock battle. Anyway, he'll come back when he's needed.
Yeah, when needed. Oh God, I wonder if I can find. Okay, maybe I'll pull up my own. We'll see.
That was that was the me subtly talking about. I need to convert this WebP to a GIF really quickly.
Got it. I was right there.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that works because it's not like it's a familiar that would get its own turn. It really just does the one thing that does, and it does it well.
Yeah, exactly. And I also think it's something that doesn't always activate.
Yeah.
Could just be at the end. It's like your action, your movement, you roll a d6 to see if it activates.
Or even a matter of like whatever you did on your action, your main roll, was it even or odd? Something like that. Something is just because I know one big gripe a lot of people have with D&D is how long combat takes, and a big part of that is how many dice you have to roll. So minimizing amounts of dice rolled is probably in our best interest.
So essentially, your bite will each bite would have different activation scenarios.
Yeah, I like that. Some will always activate. Some you have to choose. Some if you roll X, it'll activate.
Yeah, I actually like that a lot. Also, really quick, going to the chat. Someone said hi. Storm VR, hello. And if there's some other people that have just showed up, please say hi, and I will say hi here in a little bit as we're going through this. So, yeah, I like the idea of you rolling
the bite list.
Yeah, I like things like like a laser or something activates on a critical hit and adds extra damage. All right, to few people. Catalyst, hello. Bookmaster, hello. Tails, hello. Chris does things, hello and welcome. Pupcat is Amare, hello. And Katie the Fandom Girl, hello. Enjoy your work while you listen to this in the background. Our voices are very smooth. Noiri.
Yes, they are.
Oh, God.
And I think we could literally keep bites almost as is and just look at it and be like, okay, this is very good. Its activation should be harder to get.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the higher level of bite it is, the harder it should be to activate.
Yeah, agreed. And even like just ability wise, like the Grim Reaper bites that just will insta kill a random enemy, like that should probably be like a hard activation.
That should be a hard 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and like maybe a % of the health or something like that. Mm-hmm. Stevie Bob Joe, hello, and so glad you're here for your first stream. God damn it. Okay. There's someone in chat whose name I should know by now, and I butcher it every time.
You need to read, what is the book? I'm making a fool out of myself because I was about to reference a book that I can't remember the title for. The Unbearable Lightness of Being, because one of the main characters would remind you that is pronounced Sabina.
Sabina.
At least that's my guess. If I'm wrong,
yes.
then we're both
I remember. Sabina. There's a B. Sabina. Did I get it?
Folks in the chat, if you are squeamish or prudish, and I mean that in not a negative way, don't read Unbearable Lightness of Being. It is very intense. Good book, though.
Dad got it right. I got it right.
Let's go.
Also, Amanda, welcome. Oh. Can I please get some hype in the chat if I got this right?
As much as I like D100 systems, Nori, I feel like I've played Call of Cthulhu like 6 times, and at the end of every session, I was like, man, I miss easier math because everything was based on D100s, and it got a little much.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
the Call of Cthulhu system, if y'all aren't aware, all of your stats are out of 100, and the better you are in that stat, the lower the number is, and to pass it, you have to clear. You have to, or the higher the number gets, to pass it, you have to go under that number. It's golf rules.
Got it. There we go. I have my Freddy.
What is he doing here?
Got it. Nailed it. Okay, we're ready for our mock battle.
All right, we're so ready.
Okay, all right. Okay, so let's break. I don't know if there's much to break down. It's just kind of.
It's just numbers.
It's just numbers. There's an action.
So,
Question: do we want to keep action constrained to FNAF move, like the moves? So like you have to use mic throw, you have to use pizza time, or whatever. You have to use one of those.
I feel like holding an action is still probably important to have. Because
Yes.
if you have a buffer on your team and they're slow, suddenly they are pointless.
Mhm.
So I think it's super important to be able to say, I'm going to use my action after they go. Holding your action should be in there. And this might be controversial. I don't think we need reactions.
Nope.
I think I don't see any moves in which we would want them, and if there are, I think those should just be status effects. Like if you have a really beat up old springlock suit, and like if punching it poisons the enemy or something, that should just happen. That shouldn't need to be its own thing.
Yeah. Also, I was thinking, so instead of spells, we would change that to programs.
Yeah, that tracks. I mean, it's powered by either processing or performance, so that totally works.
I just think it's a neat way to do it. Yeah, put the thing in there. So I also
I'm of the opinion that interactions shouldn't even need be mentioned, because roleplay, I feel like, can supersede combat at any moment.
Yeah, exactly. I do think so. Attack. I think just a basic attacker using a program. I think basic attack is tied to the weapon you equip yourself with. Like if you carry a microphone, cupcake, hook.
I could definitely see like people having base level attacks or programs and then gaining additional ones based on the equipment they have.
Yeah.
I could see that working. And then that can also be informed by like the suit you're going for, or maybe certain levels can be like pick an ability, so that way anyone of any suit can be like, oh, well, you are leveling up your endo, so your suit shouldn't be what qualifies what abilities you get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oof. Yeah, that just opened up like a whole nother can of worms as I'm thinking about it. I'm just like, what is getting stronger? Is it the character? Like,
because that's the interesting thing about FNAF World, and it's going to kind of be a hitch in this, unless we just roll with it, is you don't gain additional moves ever. You have those moves and you have them forever, and they just get stronger, which can work. That's just basically melee in D&D. But a lot of people like being a skill monkey and being able to swap out those moves.
Yeah, and I don't like. I personally would get really bored if I only had four
Yeah,
moves for an entire campaign. That would drive me nuts.
that's what I'm thinking as well. Let me pull up the move list again. We could develop almost a Pokemon-esque system where you can have four moves, one or two of them being dictated by what items you have, and the other one or two being swapped out with whatever ones you have learned so far.
Ram,
Ram, you got there.
and you can
got it.
upgrade your Ram.
You can upgrade your Ram to give you more moves per fight, and you can reprogram yourself when you're not in combat to pick what moves you currently have installed.
Hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Slots based off.
Can we call when you upgrade it? Can we call it downloading more RAM?
Oh man, I love that moment. It just like suddenly everything suddenly made sense. I would also say one thing we should go through on these endos. Maybe we just make the beginning level of RAM 3.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And even the nice thing about the RAM idea, equipment could give you moves additional to what your RAM has.
Yeah.
So if you have like a RAM of 3, but you find a hook, suddenly you now have hook on top of RAM.
Yeah. And then
Can RAM stand for rigid amount of moves? And just like, wait, what do you? I don't know what RAM is. Oh, RAM. Yeah, you talk about like it's just a complete misunderstanding.
Good night, film. We'll see you later. Absolutely. You could upgrade. Can your upgrade be an SSD so you can get RAM faster? Of course. We'll also include Wi-Fi 6. You could download the RAM faster.
Get an Ethernet, and you just have this trail going behind you the whole time. Okay. So I like that, and then that will help inform a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, your endo can have. It could also work where like equipment gives you moves on top of RAM, but certain suits could give you moves that you can use with your RAM.
Yeah, or I would say that maybe just to make things simpler, of having equipment you find be active and shells you find passive.
Yeah, I like that.
I think that's just
make it a little bit easier.
Yeah, just it's like I know, like I know
we like playing wizards, but not everybody likes playing wizards.
Yeah. Artificer is my favorite class. It's so much fun, but it is a complicated class to play.
Maybe in one far off day when you get to not be the DM for a campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a thing you might like. It was playing an Artificer.
Yes.
Dying. Artificer battle is battle. What's the one that gives you a partner? Is that Battlesmith? No, that's the Iron Man. Iron Companion?
No. I think you're right with Battlesmith. Armor is the Iron Man.
So being a Battlesmith, Artificer, and dying session 1, your little Iron Companion snaps to, I have to avenge my Artificer, and that's your real character. And you're playing a Warforged.
Oh, that's my Artificer that I played, the last one I played, was an old Dragonborn.
Okay.
Who was an armorer. So when it was time for combat, it essentially like popped him back into like put all of his joints in the right place, and then he just went and just beat the shit out of people.
I like there's a YouTube series, D&D with a Twist, that I've been watching where he'll like make tweaks or additions to things in D&D, and one of his ongoing series is make X class Lich, because Lich is wizard.
Right.
Make the Bard Lich, make the I don't know if he's made one for Artificer yet, but I would love seeing a Lich Artificer being just an armorer gone to the maximum extent.
Oh my god, that would be great. Also, Danish the Ducky, hello and welcome. And of course, Damien, it makes a lot of sense that I would be the artificer. It's like, it's tech and magic. It's like right where I want to be.
I'm always sorcerer, and it's just because I like to gamble with wild magic. It's so fun.
I think we've had
I'm
this
a gambler.
discussion before.
Yeah.
Okay, so equipment gives you an active ability or an active program just to keep all the words.
Mm-hmm.
And then shells / suits. We'll have to decide if we want to do suits or shells.
Yeah.
Or that could just be the difference between shells are heavy armor and suits are light armor.
Might be an unnecessary complication.
You're right. Shells and suits give
Some of the costumes. I don't know.
Inactive program.
I like that, and it also, since it's like a passive, I can see people more willing to give up a passive they specifically want to get a suit they would specifically want.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, if it's linked to anything active, then it's like, I don't want to be a bird, but I want that move.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's also up to the DM's discretion whether if you find a suit or a shell, that it be tied to whatever animal you want to do.
That's true.
I mean, it's FNAF. You don't need to explain. Do what? Phasgoo. There you go.
Phasgoo, everything. Can we make a second system after this where it's Phasgoo and it's a no dice system where we all sit at a table and tell a story together?
One word at a time.
Okay.
All right. I like that. Slots based off of RAM, your rigid amount of moves. Base level's 3. It does not level up. You have to purchase or download more RAM.
You have to download more RAM. I like that too, because that way it's less, well, ironically less rigid.
Yeah. Upgrades can only be bought. I mean, a lot of this is just kind of like, hey, everything, like, we're homebrewing here, but you could even homebrew this homebrew.
Oh, yeah.
We encourage it.
Homebrew is the best part of D&D. It's why the first rule in the rule book is these are suggestions.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so upgrades can only be bought. You can either download or install. That's your decision. Downloading is the right one.
The correct way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you try to install more RAM, people just give you a weird look.
Yeah. Download more RAM. I mean, this is a meme game. Please respect our lore.
Yeah.
Meme Lord, thank you for the $2. So the table becomes Candy Cadet?
Yes,
Yes.
essentially, yes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to tell you a story. Okay. All right.
Okay, so mock battle, right?
Yeah.
You're walking through, random encounter pops up.
Oh no, I gotta fight this thing.
So, initiative tied to the mobility stat. So it's pretty quick immediately to start.
Mm-hmm.
Your turn comes up.
Okay. So I have a microphone. So I have 4 moves, right? So
You have
I
4
have
moves. Assuming you haven't downloaded any RAM before this
I have
fight,
not
you have 4
downloaded
moves.
RAM before this. No.
Okay.
I'm a standard level 1. All right. So I'm looking to attack. So, am I rolling a d20?
That is the question. D20s. I think the issue with straying from D20s is it gives a lot more options for probability.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think a D100 is unnecessary. But
No, we're
anything
not
less
going to
than
go
a
that.
Yeah, anything less than a D20 lowers the different levels of probability possible here.
Yeah. Logan reads, "Have a nice sleep."
So I think I do like having a base D20 system.
I do too, and I also just the fact that like I know D&D isn't the only one that also uses like D20 as kind of your base.
It's a very common die.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so boom, encounter. I'm throwing my mic, right? So I roll a 17.
Now, what should modify that? Why are you better at throwing your mic than anyone else?
Exactly. And then on top of that, how does that actually hit?
I wonder if durability could also just be the number you have to beat to hit something.
Yeah.
So instead of an armor class, how high is your durability?
True. So if your durability is 15,
In example,
then that hits.
As long as you can roll higher than a 15, that would hit. Now, would your... I don't think proficiency is necessary with like the scope of everything that's going to be in
No,
here.
it's the quick leveling and the level cap. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is the level cap has to incorporate in some way.
Yeah. And that way, even when durability gets higher, sure, something might have a durability of like 42 by the end of the game, but you should have a whatever stat you are using to attack of way higher.
Oh boy, I think we just ran into a really big problem.
What's our issue?
That's some real big numbers. And that means that your stats, these core stats, either have the potential of being like 1 to 50 or something like that. Which kind of defeats the purpose of it being simple. Also, oh my god, I cannot read that name. 40K, thank you so much for the $2. My Warforged is essentially a FNAF character. Perfect.
Comrade Kalashnikov. I got you.
Thank you. I don't know if I have dyslexia, but I might. I don't know.
Well, the no capitalization isn't helping anybody. I'm going to be honest, comrade.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah, no, you're right.
how do we keep this simple?
Simple but feels big. I mean, going back to the Yu-Gi-Oh cheat method, you can I have 7,800 health, and then it's a matter of he has 78 health.
Right.
But then that also feels silly to roll a die and be like, oh, add 2 zeros to it for no reason.
Yeah, that's extra math that feels weird. Plus, on top of, here's the thing we need to lock. Like this is the thing that's in our way that we need to address right now is how does level affect everything? Because with FNAF World, every level is accounted for how much damage you do. So
yeah, and it feels like it's just damage. Does health scale with level in FNAF World? Let me pull up the wiki.
I mean, yeah, there's no like dead set rule on it. That's the unfortunate. Why does Chrome keep switching my search engine to frickin' Yahoo?
Oh, it's pretty straightforward. Chrome is a bad browser. You should use Opera.
Oh, I do normally on my day-to-day.
Oh, fair.
But for the sake of not using my browser that I search stuff for theory on, probably shouldn't reveal that. Promise.
Leveling up will increase your character's health by 5, increase its power in the character profile, increase its total XP, and increase its damage. Of course, it doesn't mention anything but health.
Yeah, because everything else is just like, it gets higher.
Thanks. Okay.
Pepperman, you have not missed anything. Because the really, really tricky thing is, let's say that God, this is hard.
Yeah.
I knew this was going to be the hardest part, is figuring out the numbers, and like
It's two conflicting things. FNAF World has really difficult math, but tabletop games shouldn't.
yeah.
So how do we make not difficult math seem big and complex without just making it silly?
Okay. Here's my thought process here.
Sure.
So if we still do the level cap at 100. Nope, never mind. I just ran it through my head and I was like, nope, that's not it. Okay. This, right, chat, this is where we need you to come in. We need some ideas here on how do we solve this? Because we need a simple formula. We need something akin to, for an attack, it's durability plus level plus roll equals hit.
Another issue with really big stats is at some point the die roll stops mattering.
Yeah, exactly. Because then you're just...
If I have a 52 AC, but your hit is like plus 47, what are we doing here?
Yeah, we're just making things terribly confusing.
Terribly confusing for a die roll that it never got harder because everything leveled up at the same time.
So, in which case, why don't we lop off a digit? Because FNAF World damages get up like into the hundreds pretty quick, in thousands pretty quick, pretty fast.
Sure.
Let's just remove an integer from that. Let's just take a number, chop it off.
Sure, easy. Make it the highest amount. And also, it's a nice, if you're like level 100, you got there, you did it. A nice, like, gamey number is having that maximum damage being like 1,000 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like, oh yeah, my max damage is 9,999 or something.
Yeah. So wonder if the damage is tied to level. Have the damage tied to level, but the attack be tied to lower stats.
Here's something I just thought about.
Sure.
In FNAF World, besides insta-hit move, besides insta-kill moves, is there a chance for moves to miss?
No, I don't. No, yes.
Hold on.
Yes, I think you can.
FNAF World attacks.
Can you miss an attack in FNAF World?
It's can you miss an attack, or is it attacks can be shielded?
Interesting. I'm gonna go to chat on this one.
Chat's kind of split.
Yeah.
I think the consensus seems to be no, though.
Okay.
Because if that's true, that could be the main thing that separates this from a lot of tabletops. It's not does your attack hit, it's did your enemy shield your attack. Otherwise, yes, it did.
So this is something that I've always wanted to do, or I've been thinking about putting into my own D&D system, just based off of something that Lee, the creative director of Film Theory, had suggested to me. is why not make it a roll-off? So everyone has a chance to shield, and you have to beat the other person's roll.
I hesitate unless there's a system in which only certain things can be. Because if every single attack is an opposed roll, think about how long combat is going to take. I feel like that's going to add a lot of dice. You've suddenly doubled every die that gets rolled.
Right, but also keep in mind that the dice are being rolled at the same time, DM and...
Fair.
I don't... Like I said, I'm throwing it out there. It does make it more complicated, and yeah, it does slow it down.
It could be a matter of... Because we have a shielder class, and we have a lot of programs that give people shields, right? Mm-hmm. It could be a matter of maybe you don't, maybe like attacks always hit, but if you give someone a shield, you roll a die. Suddenly, when someone attacks someone with a shield, they have to beat that roll.
Oh, so if you're currently shielded,
if you're currently like, if I get hit, it hits. If I attack you, it hits. If you attack me, it hits. I want my buddy to survive this next one. I just rolled a 13. Now, suddenly, if you want to hit him, you have to roll and beat a 13 or something like that.
Oh, so...
I take that 13 die, I hand it to my buddy.
I don't hate that.
The only reason I would hesitate is now every attack needs to have an implied roll that only is used sometimes. So I do hesitate for that. Or maybe shields will... The other possibility is attacks always hit. Shield, I rolled a 12. The next attack that hits you, the first 12 damage doesn't. And it's more of a holdover where like, I did 20 damage to you, but you had a shield of 13. Now you take 7.
Yeah.
That might be... it's a matter of... I feel like the whole always... It either there's no attack roll or there should always probably be an attack roll.
Right. I would also say that... I think instead of rolling for a shield, I think shield should just be a base. A base, like, hey,
sure.
This absorbs 10 damage. And can only be applied to one character. And then, like, as you find better shield abilities, this is like
it can do better. Or perhaps, like, whatever stat shield is affected by can add on to whatever shield program that you have. Just so people can be... That way, the shielder class has a reason to exist. Otherwise, just give everybody one shield move and move on.
Yeah. I will say, though, if we don't have an attack thing, the movement is pointless.
That's true. That's true. Well, I guess that's another thing. We have to consider how movement functions in this. In FNAF World, it's old-timey war. Everyone stands still.
Yeah.
So the moment we add movement as a factor, every attack needs range.
Yeah, here I have a... Do what? This needs to go to chat. This is a chat thing. I'm going to add a poll here, and I would like everyone to... Because I think this ultimately decides what we have to do. And I know Toast just disappeared off the thing. Thank Discord. So, do you want combat? So, do you want combat to be... Because do you want just you use the moves, that's all you have? Or do you want to be able to get creative with what you do? Like,
yeah, because it's once again a restriction of the idea of FNAF World, that FNAF World itself doesn't allow for a lot of creativity. So how stretchy do we make the game to then allow for creativity.
Yeah, because I love the idea of adding the ability to, like the ability to hack a tree. So if someone's hiding behind a tree and you're like, oh, I need that tree out of the way, you could hack the tree to shoot through it. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah.
And I really, really like that idea of, like, it being imaginative. Like, yes, we can go simple, but we should also not go too simple.
Yeah.
Because
No, I see that.
yeah. So, okay, so I'm gonna do. I'm just creating a poll as like, do you want combat to feel more like FNAF World or do you want to feel more like D&D? And I think that will determine a lot of.
It will. Yeah, no, it really does. Because I like the idea of movement. It immediately adds a lot of questions that we need to answer pretty quickly.
Yeah. I'm gonna go use the restroom really quick. If you want to,
I'll just stall for you.
well, yeah, just see what chat has to say, and then maybe something pops up while I'm gone.
Okay, so let's keep this on topic. Chat, the 5 Nights at Freddy's News Alert Twitter account has been holding a favorite character poll. I need everybody to go onto their account right now and vote for PopGoes. We need PopGoes to survive, all right? He's trying to execute this harmless weasel who's done nothing wrong just because the community is rallying behind him. It's unfair. It's cruel treatment. I'm going to put the link in chat. I need everybody to go vote for PopGoes. Anyway, how's everyone's day going? The link is in chat. Go vote for PopGoes immediately. He's trying to kill our boy, our sweet, sweet boy who's done nothing wrong. Although, to be fair, the link might not show up because links might be not allowed. It's at FNAF Alerts on Twitter. Go vote for my boy. Doing good. We move called Purple Guy, and it's someone's Purple Guy from FNAF 2. That'd be pretty funny. First time actually live with you. Welcome to Siren Prince. Evening where I am, but it's good. It's night where I am, Katie. Good. Been reading my textbook while listening to you guys. Well, hopefully we're not too distracting. You won't get tired of our voice, will you? Don't know if it's been talked about, but what if initiative was like a dice roll plus movement or whatever?
What do we got?
So far we've decided initiative will just beat the stat.
Okay, I like that.
All right, what's our vote? Our vote? Hey, you'll never guess.
More
It's 47 to 53.
No way. I thought it was going to be.
It's really close.
Wow, I did not expect that. I thought it was going to be for sure more D&D based.
It was at first, but it really leveled out. I also didn't tell chat to go vote for PopGoes in the favorite FNAF character tournament.
I see.
They're trying to execute my boy, and it's not right.
I see. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So, how do we do this? I'm totally willing to just make the call that there should be an attack roll.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that, like being a necessity.
Yeah,
just to make this work. And then the question then comes with movement, because if we I feel like we can't I feel like we can't go halvesies on movement. It can't be oh, we can do movement, but we don't need to make hard numbers for these ranges and these movements. It's either nobody moves or we create a system so that people move in a standardized and fair way.
Right. I feel like having range for certain abilities makes sense and is fine.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no problem with that particular thing. I will say that. I mean, is it just your mobility times like 5? And we keep. This is one thing I was thinking of: is do we keep the initial stats really low? So like in D&D, you have like strength 10 is average. Is 0 average stat?
Maybe. Also, I will say multiply X stat by 5 for movement. I don't know if that's necessary. We could keep No, it should be. Yeah, 5 feet feels like a good number because 1 easy math, but 2, if everything is 1 foot of movement, everybody's shoulder to shoulder. So yeah, no.
Yeah, it's a fact of like you want them to not move that fast because they animatronics, but also yeah.
Shortcut, cross the pond, meters.
Ooh.
1 meter is 3 feet, but 1 meter is easier math.
Okay.
And then if something has like a speed of 5, he can walk 5 meters, and that's only like 15 feet, but it's good enough to position on a battlefield without having these animatronics sprinting at 40 feet at a time.
And let's face it, using a meter for distance is significantly better because the metric system is just objectively better.
Objectively better, and the majority of people who play this will probably be American, and they won't know what a meter is, so it's way easier to just be like, yeah, that seems right.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's like 1 meter. If you got a battle map out, it's like it's a square.
Yeah, that square's a meter. Oh, okay, cool. Anyway, move on. And then the math gets to be by 1s and not by 5s.
Mm-hmm. So I would say like have the default speed. So if you have 0 mobility, you have 3 meters.
And then each mobility increases that by 3?
No, then I think then you have mobility increase it by 1.
3 plus mobility.
3 plus your mobility. And
I like that.
Yeah. I think that's the way to do it. And so I think for stats.
Ooh. D12 system starting to make a little bit more sense here. Or maybe a D10 system.
Oh.
Maybe a D10 system, because if we have the level cap at 100 and every 10 levels all of your stats go up, but every 5 levels your bonus stats will go up by an additional or something like that. We'll figure that out as we get there.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, if your default is 0 and your durability gets higher as you go, rolling a D10 to hit means a lot, because that covers the majority span of most things.
Oh.
But if durability is your main stat, at like the higher levels, like at a level 9, it's like your durability is probably higher than a 10, but certain equipments or attacks, if you're using your stat on there, can add to that D10.
Oh.
And then the only thing I would hesitate on is it would probably make things really easy to hit in the early game. If it's a D10, unless durability's default is like 5 or something.
Right.
Like how mobility is 3 plus mobility. Durability is like 5 plus durability or something.
Yeah. But I think no matter how you do it, this system is will have higher HP than most systems.
Yes, correct.
I think that's just inherently what is going to happen. I'm just trying to find a way to make sure that if you decide that everyone's going to rock the Mimic Endo and spring locks, they're not going to feel... I mean, that's terrible choice. But so let me... like, if you did a whole team of toy animatronics, you're not feeling like you're not getting a chance to heal.
Yeah.
Which also I kind of lean towards letting, just like in FNAF World, let the characters fully heal after every game or after every battle.
I'm fine with that, because then also you can make battles a little bit. Let's be super honest with each other. You're a DM. I'm a DM.
Mm-hmm.
Do you keep track of out of combat healing?
I trust my players do.
Because I'll tell you what, unless it's this grim, dark, survival-based campaign, if we're out of combat and one of you has like a cantrip or something that can heal, I don't care anymore. Or you have enough time to short rest and get your spell slots back and you have healing word, cool. You fully healed after that fight.
Right. That's fair. I also love chat going off with everyone, all the Americans saying, "I'm measuring freedom," or eagles.
Yeah. I love, that's one of my favorite online memes, is whenever people will use an object so it's easier to visualize, and then people just respond with, "Americans will use anything but the metric system." It's like oh yeah, this computer's like 4 bananas tall. And it's like, just use the metric system. It's like, but you could visualize 4 bananas easier.
Also, Ray of Sunshine, hello. Lonk Loaf, hello, welcome. Thanks to work. I'm sitting here 24 minutes behind everyone else. I'm so sorry, Paige Turner. I can't wait for you 24 minutes from now to read this exact sentence.
Hey, Paige Turner, if you respond to this in the next 30 seconds, I'll give you a shout out on Twitter.
Wow.
Missed opportunity. Sorry about that.
Oh, that sucks. That's mean. Mark Lloyd, hello, welcome. Isaiah, was it Estill? Estili? Hello, welcome. Okay, I like default 0. I also kind of like that. I don't know how you feel about this, but maybe the endo, like, you don't roll for stats. You pick your endo, and that's your beginning stats.
I like that. And also I like on level up you get that stat as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
although we do have to probably adjust how we wrote those, because now that we have this system, -1 doesn't make any sense here.
Well, yeah.
Unless we can't have negative mobility. Let's be real. Let's be reasonable. You can't just go underground on your movement.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Now, I mean, shortcut, depending on how we make the stats work, we could just add 2 to everything we've written here.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly, like, the penalty is 0 that, but no, that doesn't quite work.
I mean, you could just make the default beginning stat 2.
Yeah, I mean,
so that would give you.
I guess it's a matter of we don't need negatives necessarily.
Oh no! Okay, hear me out. Okay, so we do the default of 2. So if you,
I see.
So your mobility would then be 5 squares by default. So if you take a class that has less mobility, you're only moving 3.
No, I like that. And that way these starting numbers actually still work with it. Because, like, sure, starting is, if your starting stat is 2 and you take a nightmare endo, sure, your performance is 0, but you get to start with a 4 in fright.
Yeah.
Although I'm leaning maybe back to the D20 system, because these levels are going to get past 10 pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Depending on how leveling works.
Yeah. Okay, I'm starting to feel better and better about this.
We're getting there. We're
getting there.
Okay, so if the default stat is 2, we should probably write how this stat number affects these numbers, right? So before we forget, mobility would be 3 plus stat.
Yeah. Movement 3 plus mob. What else? Mobility.
We've got, so wait, I don't know if we can use the 3-letter, because then our stats are going to be fry, pra, per, mob, and dir. I don't know if we can do 3 letters.
Hey, what's your dir?
My dir is actually a 5. But we also can't do first letter because we have performance and processing. If we can change performance or processing, we can do it by the first letter.
Everyone's saying dir's fine.
No, dir's good.
No, dir's good. Let's see. That's really hard to.
I like performance and processing a lot.
I like them too much to change them.
Yeah, we'll keep dir. It's fine. We can keep dir.
Dir's hilarious. So your mob, you got your dir, you got your per, and you got your pro.
Pro.
And you're free.
And you're free. All right, it'd be fry. Thank you.
Fry. You're fine, but I stand by dir.
Yeah, no, dir stays.
Okay. So we do know that movement is tied to your mobility.
Should attacking. Now this is gonna change our dir, our per, and a pra. Mm-hmm. Should it be a D10 system? Or should it be a D20 system? That's really what it comes down to. Because that will change what our base number for dir, per, and pro would be.
Honestly, I think we just have. I think that's just a matter of play testing.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Feeling it out and seeing what feels good and what doesn't feel good.
Yeah, because if we find out that this should definitely just be a D10 system and that's fine, then
so what do we start with then? D20 for ease?
Yeah, I'd say we start with D20.
Okay.
I still think we're a little bit away from play testing. Honestly, why not make performance perf? So you got Moby, Dura. Oh, you could do 4. Fright
Proc.
would be frig.
Frig. Frig.
Frig. Yeah, frigate.
Dura, Moby, perf, proc, frig.
I don't hate that either.
I don't hate it.
It's a little better, to be honest.
Now, would it be pros? Because you put it's a soft C.
Yeah, pros. Yeah. Moby.
Here, new poll. Dur versus frig.
Okay, I'm on it. I have to end that poll. End poll. Start poll.
Actually, yours is a good point. If we're not going to be testing out a fight, we could probably take off the
yeah,
FNAF
probably.
World
We probably want to see our faces. Let me just okay, bye Freddy. Oh, bye. There we go. Freaking Discord, man.
Okay.
I think we're gonna have to try to use the thing we used for the FNAF talk back next time we do this.
Yeah, maybe it might work better.
Yeah.
So if we're doing a D20 system, should 10 be the default durability?
10 be the default durability?
Yeah. Or do we? I feel like 10 or 8 is the move there.
Right. I don't mind. So I don't mind 10 because that's the default on D&D, and that's kind of been.
I thought D&D's default was 8 plus proficiency plus.
Was it? I thought it was.
I think it's 8 because most people start with a proficiency of +2. So when you start out, it's 10, but it's 8 plus proficiency plus something else.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty sure. It's just by the time you have armor is before you have to worry about your base armor class.
Yeah, I kind of lean more towards 10 for simplicity's sake.
Yeah, no, I think keeping it as simple and straightforward as possible is good, and that way the highest you can start is with a 12, and the lowest you can start is with an 8.
So
actually, we don't have anyone starting with an 8 durability. We have the lowest you could start is with a 9. Nobody starts with -2 in durability.
Right. The question is, do we make... I think we have to make all of the stats still in the same scope. So
Okay.
instead of your durability, it would be, for now, calling it armor class. We will change
We'll figure
it.
out a word.
Yeah. But your AC would be 10 plus Dura plus shell bonus.
Well, your endo gives you the bonus, doesn't it?
That gives you the default stat.
Oh, that gives you your that gives you your okay. I see.
Yeah. If you like our shielder, which is essentially our tank, the classics, their shells should probably come with a bit of a bonus too.
Yeah, I see that.
Durability.
And then that way also, like, it could be a matter of every shell gives you some kind of a bonus, and that way, if you're running around with just your endo, you're going to be a little bit more exposed.
Yeah.
That being said, so we would be having the default level 1 start off durability ranging anywhere from 11 to 14. That feels like a good starting range.
That's honestly where I stand. Is I think
Also, it seems like Dur 1.
Dur 1?
Dur 1. So it's Dur Mob Per Pra and
Okay.
We're saying runes now at this point.
Yeah.
Um
Here's the thought process, or here's a little think-a-doodle for you, if you like think-a-doodles.
Here's your processing.
I was gonna say processing should be what determines your attack.
Yeah, I mean it could be pretty straightforward as just if it's a D20 system, add your processing or your performance depending on what the attack is.
Yeah. Because I mean, your durability isn't going to determine how you
How
hit.
good you punch
Like
something.
your code needs to determine.
Now, okay, attacking, processing, and performance, have those been our 2 attacking stats, or are those 2 different things? Is performance more charisma focused, and if so, then what is fright?
I mean, do we make fright just that's your damage stat? Because I mean, part of me kind of leans towards that.
I could see that.
Because you can determine it as, like, you know, the more frightful you are, like the more if you have a lot of fright, does that mean your attacks are more vicious? I guess is the thing.
That's fair. It also depends on what type of attack we're talking about. Because, like, more melee-centric attacks, yes, 100%. But would your fright affect how hot your cheese is? Which is a sentence that I have to say out loud.
No, you're right. It can't. Okay. I think
That's a
you're...
good point, Hyper.
Performance boosts buffs. Fright boosts debuffs.
I like it. I like that a lot. And then that way you can have... I wonder, do we have any endos that boost fright and performance? I think those are always...
They're always opposites.
Opposing.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with.
No, I like
I
it.
don't think a saboteur needs to be good at both buffing and debuffing. I think it'd be more interesting to have those be very distinct, and you can be like an attacker and a buffer, or a shielder and a buffer, or an attacker and a debuffer, or something like that.
Yeah. So, wonder if we made mobility... No. Because I was going to say, wonder if we made mobility attack and then process... Well, here's what I think should happen. Is that if you're if you're casting hot cheese,
Yeah.
or something like that, those should all be processor attacks.
Yeah, I agree.
So if you're using hot cheese, it's your processor. So So program attacks or program damage equals
And well, here's another confounding factor. If we are including movement and range into this, we have to account for something FNAF World never has: the difference between a casted or ranged attack versus a melee or like one-on-one attack. There's no difference there. The only difference in FNAF World is AoE or single target.
mm-hmm.
So we'll have to account for that in a way that doesn't need to be in FNAF World, which is why we're hitting it, this kind of sticky situation almost.
Yeah, I agree. So just to finish this thought process out, though, is so it's your program damage is your damage roll plus your processing. Simple enough.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that, and it could even do double time, because like I mean, again looking at D&D, like most melee attackers, you add your strength to your attack roll and your damage roll.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fine.
I think.
But speaking of attack rolls, what stat should affect an attack roll?
That's what I was. That's why I initially pitched processing, because you need the program to go off without a hitch to effectively do the attack.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
And like some of these are gonna double up on stuff. Some of them aren't.
Yeah.
Why is this a thing? Jazzalith, we just want to give the world a little piece of our pain in tabletop version edition.
Really, it's just we want a more interesting way to talk about this franchise.
Exactly.
We're trying to avoid burnout in a creative way.
Yes. But just let us have this.
If I have to talk about FNAF, it's on my terms.
Jazzy, thank you for the membership. And someone did say hot cheese.
So hot that you could burn down a building with it.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, my God. Can you imagine an evil campaign where you use hot cheese to take
arson?
down... No.
You're the one saying we should imagine it. I'm just saying.
I fell into my own pitfall. What have I done? Cheese arson. Oh my God.
I've set up my box and stick, and I put something right in for you.
Yeah, and I was like, ooh. I jumped right in. Okay, so your attack would be, roll plus processing. Your pro. Do we want to separate melee and like a mic toss versus a hook? Do we want to separate those into what is most likely going to be durability and mobility? Or do we tie them both to one stat?
I think it might be better to tie physical and immaterial.
Yeah.
Especially because FNAF already has that idea of like a physical robot with a spirit in it or something. So having I feel like the main separation we need would be physical versus like I guess ethereal or something like that. And that would be the difference between attacks like bite or mic toss versus attacks like, I don't know, hot cheese or jump scare or things like that.
Right.
Or pizza wheel or things like that.
Yeah. So I'm going to throw this out here is I would say that we should put physical damage under mobility rather than durability. And here's my thought process on that is that if we're talking about humans and organic, like if we're looking at D&D, which is all organic creatures for the most part, a your strength really determines how hard you can swing the thing and how hard you can hit the thing. We're talking about animatronics who are just innately going to be stronger based off of their building. So what would get in the way of them doing more damage? Whether or not they can, like, properly move their arm.
Well, yeah, well, that's the thing. In humans, the speed at which you can move your arm is based on your strength.
Yeah.
As a robot, it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fully down with the mobility being the thing that causes physical damage. Listen, I watch One Piece. I know how momentum can affect physical damage. All right. Every attack is, I'm going to put my fist 50 yards that way and slingshot it at you. Okay.
Perfect. Love it. And I would say we put it here for now and then potentially change it later on if we're going, no, it's just got to be durability.
Yeah.
So.
I also hesitate for durability. The only question that could make this tricky either way is whatever stat we pair physical damage to will inevitably create a type of fighter. So if we pair it to mobility, we're going to have fast, efficient hitters. Whereas if we tie it to durability, our tanks will be our most efficient hitter. And I think tanks being less mobile and your attacker being more mobile makes the most sense there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And then it won't affect the damage because that's where processing comes in.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So with that being said, our buffs... Why did I put B-buffs? I don't know what B-buffs are, but I kind of love them.
I think B-buff is the partner to Rocksteady from Teenage
That's
Mutant
Bebop. Don't you do that. How will I even play as a funny charisma man? Easy. High performance. Performance.
Yeah, bada bing, bada boom. Performance and like, I don't know, maybe processing.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's kind of the like wisdom / intelligence stat as well.
Yeah. Okay, so that definitely makes your Endo 2s your tanks.
Yeah.
Your Endos are kind of your all-around melee. Your Nightmares are going to be debuffs. Your Fun Time are going to be your your
buffer, I would say.
Yeah, your main buffer or you're a decent caster.
Yeah,
because of processing. Your Rockstar is going to be your strong buffer.
Yeah.
And the Mimic Endo is going to be your caster. Like, your for sure caster.
And that feels good, too. Because, like, when I look at Toy Freddy, I'm assuming I'm going to get punched in the jaw.
Yeah.
Or, like, when I look at, like, Glamrock Freddy, he's going to, like, throw hot cheese at me.
Yeah. So, I guess it kind of comes down... We initially had these classes. I don't think these matter anymore. Or not as much.
Necessary. I think the shells should maybe instead primarily focus on
passive
durability, passive, and is that it? Because that feels like it really de-emphasizes the point of them.
Well, it's because it's changed, right? Like,
yeah,
now you're no longer picking a specific class. You're picking an Endo and building around the Endo.
Yeah.
Whereas,
no, I like that, and it allows for a lot of customization.
Yeah. Larkin, hello. How are you? Welcome to the Strum. Yeah, I really like the idea of you're picking the Endo and your shell and all that stuff is more for the passive ability.
Yeah.
And so so your default, like, everyone gets to pick a shell unless you want to start on a no shell run. So if it's a classic, then it comes with a default shielder passive. Like it removes some damage. If you're a toy, it like increases your damage a little bit. Like
If you're a spring lock, it will increase your debuff proficiency, but also crit fails hurt you or something.
yeah. Yeah, we can play around with these shells, and that like looking at these are like the branches of what you can find under there. So if you find a classic suit, it could give you a shield, or it could help you provide a shield. Or
We will have to find some way to standardize it
yes.
to not let it be fully homebrewed. Because
Right.
it's either going to be fully homebrewed or classics give you this type of passive, and depending on the quality of the classic will increase or decrease that amount.
And see, I think I'd lean more towards that.
Yeah.
Like because the
And then
customization
animal type can just be flare.
that's the flair. That's the customization that you want is, I'm making toy
Toy parakeet.
yeah, toy parakeet who is using an endo one thing, so I'm not super squishy, but I can still do more extra damage. So
Jonah, I've seen it. We already are. We are. It already is.
what?
He was begging for the. It was the. I beg you look at my idea, and the idea was, what if processing was also involved with wisdom or wisdom or processing? It's like, yeah, we have skills on here that already are involved with that.
Yeah, if you haven't seen anything of what we've done so far, we have a whole skill section.
Yeah, we it was a good idea. We already had it.
Yeah, a great idea. We did it. So the shells give you gives you passives, and
Passives and also a little bit of armor, and that can be used to balance as well. If
Yeah.
it's a really good passive, maybe less armor.
or you find something that's really built for durability, but doesn't give you as big of a boost. Okay.
I like that.
And
Should we sort that now?
Or we
wait
need to
until we
solve
get there?
buff and debuff. Because if performance is going to improve on your buffs and fright is going to improve on your debuffs, does that mean buffs and debuffs now have a role?
Yeah, because it's a matter of should it, because it really it's two variables. Does it work, and how good does it work, and which of those should be a role that is affected by your stat,
So
or are both of them?
looking at D&D, doing something like temporary hit points or something like that is pretty much always going to work. And so I feel like buffs always work. You just roll for how beneficial it is.
And debuffs will be debuff set to what that move is, but you have to roll to see if it sticks.
Yeah.
I like that, because then it's still one roll per action, but it's a matter of how good can you help your friends and how able are you to hurt your enemies.
Yeah. Buff. So it'd be your buff roll plus per.
Yeah.
And debuff would be
Oh, okay, but the tricky thing about making this happen this way is what kinds of buffs and debuffs exist.
yeah, we
If
got to
look
check
at
the attacks.
I've got the attacks pulled up. Let me
pull them up for chat
what
here.
color was the important thing? Purple was debuffs, pink is buffs. Okay, so pink, heal, low damage and some heal. Okay, the pinks are just all healing.
Okay.
So we'll have to be a little bit.
What's the thing that raises attack then? Yellow.
A different color. Yellow.
Okay, so
Yellow does a lot of stuff.
So there's too many colors, and some of these colors are gonna have to change.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, do you what? I think it's just gonna have to depend on the thing, because if you make a mimic ball, a move, then you have to see if the mimic works, as opposed to it just
might just have to be per move, which that's more reasonable to figure out because there's only so many types of buffs and debuffs that can exist.
Oh, you're right. Zer, you're right. White is where you see most of the buff stuff. So armor song, birthday, power song, speed, and then cosmic song for whatever reason is white, but I think they're just whites are songs.
I mean, you're right. Mm-hmm. I wonder what the wiki decided to describe it as. Attacks that give a major buff to all party members, except for Cosmic Song, which deals AoE damage. I mean, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, thanks for the consistency, Scott. Yeah, you got... Oh, bite. Oh, that's going to be fun, is you're equipping your character with a jaw as opposed to like a hook or anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
God, I just know I'm going to be playing a character that only uses the chance to insta-kill and random low-tier, random high-tier attack. I'm just going to be the gambler.
I'm just going to be honest. And that's going to have to be part of the balancing of this, is we got to make sure that this isn't going to like...
It has to be high risk, high reward.
Yes.
Like, I need... If I play a character that can insta-kill things, I should have a reasonable chance of death.
Yeah. Right.
One of those things where it's like a D20, like 16 or higher kills something. 15 to 4 does nothing. 4 below, I die instantly. something weird like that.
Roll plus.
We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah. So essentially, I mean, we don't really need to. I don't know if we need to separate into like a buff success roll or a buff.
Yeah,
I think
it'll be every buff or debuff will come down to a roll. We'll decide per move what that roll should be.
Yeah, so it's buff roll plus per.
Yep, debuff roll plus free.
Plus free, and that's how combat works.
That feels good.
Okay.
So then your turn would be. It's your turn, and in any order you would like, you have your action, which will be affected by either your performance, your fright, your processing, or your mobility. Mm-hmm. You have your movement, which is affected by your mobility. You have your bite that happens, and then when it is not your turn, your durability and your shell are what matters. And that way, in combat, all of these things are being used at some point.
Yes.
I like that.
Okay, hey. So I run into a random encounter.
Yeah.
Okay. Guys, I wanted to do a mock battle towards the end of this stream, and it's happening.
It's happening.
Okay, so this is basic Freddy. So let's just go ahead and say he's got an Endo 1 in there, so I have durability and mobility plus 1.
You're level 1.
So no added, nothing's really added, and that's it. So
you have a durability of 13. Well, I guess your shell would have a bonus. What it was, say 2. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, 2. And then let's see. I have a -1 to processing and performance. Ooh, that's weird.
Your damage has a -1. Oh, that's a little sticky.
Hey, I think maybe we should change Endo 1 from processing to fright, maybe.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, great.
Who else has a minus to? Does anyone else has a minus to processing? I don't think so. Yeah, I agree with that. And I don't think anyone should have a minus to their processing.
Okay,
If
cool.
that's going to be your damage roll, that's weird.
That's weird to have. Yeah. Okay, great. All right. So I come across to Chipper. I forgot the actual
My name
name.
is Auto Chipper. Thank you very much.
All right, Auto Chipper.
I definitely didn't Google wood chipper FNAF World GIF and found this guy. The file name says Auto Chipper, so that's what I'm going with.
So I'm using Mike Toss, right? So
Sure.
oh,
So you would,
shit.
and that would be
So I rolled a 19.
okay. Okay.
So that would be 19 plus 2, so that's 21.
I'm going to assume since Auto Chipper is the first boss in the game, a 21 would hit.
Yes. Yeah, I would think so. And then let's just say a D6 for damage.
Yeah, feels good.
So that would deal let's see, mobility, so that's plus 3, so that's 5 damage.
Sure. So 5 damage goes through. You have your movement, and your bite may or may not happen. You don't have a bite. You're level 1.
Yeah, I can't use bite because I'm level 1 and I have a mic instead of teeth. So I would just stay where I am, I think.
Yeah, I think you would probably stay where you are. You used a mic toss, so you don't have to be right up in front of me. So it goes to my turn. I would have to use whatever Auto Chipper's movement is to get closer to you. I'll say I get there. Auto Chipper would then do his roll. And I think for most enemies that aren't animatronics, we can probably just monster manual cheat it and be like, they just have this stat.
Oh, yeah.
And their attack is just plus this. I rolled an 11. And I would be using a physical attack, so I would be going off of my mobility, which I'm looking at myself. It doesn't look very high.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's very high.
So it's like probably like a +1, maybe.
So,
Which wouldn't, I don't think would hit.
what was that, 13 total?
It would be 13 total. Your shell bonus is +2. Your dir is +1. So you're at 14. That does not hit.
That does not hit.
And that may or may not have triggered a passive ability.
Right.
And that's a round of combat.
Okay. All right. So I think
good.
I see a single problem right now.
Yeah.
Is default the default stat for durability is, or for every stat is 2. So if I take endo 1, my durability is a +1. So my AC would be 10 plus 3, so it would be 13 plus my shell bonus.
I don't know if that's necessarily an issue because let's be reasonable. If we are actually starting out level 1, you just got there. You don't even have a shell yet.
Or honestly, I think maybe your first shell should just not
have stats.
It shouldn't have a durability bonus. It should just have the passive. Or either or. It's either just +1 durability
or passive.
Or a passive.
Human variant. Got it.
Yeah.
You get a stat or a feat. Understood.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think I like that. Your starting suit should either have like a +1 to your shell or a somewhat minor passive.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing that's up to the DM's discretion too.
Yeah.
If they want to give you like a small +1 to your with your shell and a small ability.
Sure. And that could also go off of, because again, the animal isn't the issue here, it's the style of the shell. That could be informed pretty quickly and easily on like here's how you make your character page. Be like, oh yeah, pick your animal, pick your character. But when you make your shell, the type of shell you choose that character to be will give you either a minor passive or that +1.
Yeah. I think One thing we still need to figure out is HP. But
Yeah.
the
HP
problem is
real sticky.
we're out of time.
HP is its own can of worms, so that feels appropriate.
Yeah. HP is going to be its own can of worms. Just do what HP is tied to your endo. I'm
think for
fine
sure.
calling that right now.
Yeah, I think that works too because these endos naturally lend themselves to styles of play, so we can have the HP complement that.
Yeah.
Like we wouldn't want someone playing as a heavy caster who's going to be hanging out in the back to then also miraculously have like the most HP in the party.
Yeah, that would be weird. Okay. Cool. I'm good saying we'll come up with the I think our next, I'm going to turn off my Freddy so people can see me out for the outro. I think.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
The next time we come to this. Okay, bye. Oh, yeah, thank you. The next time we get to this, I think it's locking down HP. And then I think it's going to. And then I think we talk shells and equipment.
Yeah, I think that works.
Did you just have him walk off? That was wonderful.
He exited stage right, but yeah. Yeah, I think that works because we can't really talk about shells or equipment before we settle on HP as well.
Yeah, and then also I feel like shells and equipment, and then because attacks and programs, that sort of thing, is going to be a completely that is stream alone. That might not
Maybe
even.
two.
It might be two or just something that doesn't happen on screen. And that's,
yeah, it might be a matter of we figure out a good system to know what we're going to do on stream, and then off stream just do the nitty gritty.
Yeah. Which means we're giving ourselves homework, which of course.
Just wittying off stream to make this work.
This was just gonna be a fun one-off stream where it's like, hey, let's turn it on a tabletop, and now we're like, okay.
I can't believe making an entire tabletop system is gonna take more than 2 hours. That blows my mind.
Yeah, can't. Yeah, who would have known? Not me.
Who'd have thunk it? My
thunk it?
processing wasn't high enough to thunk it.
All right. So again, want to thank Rye Toast for being here, to help me sort through this. Collectively, we're getting closer. And then on Sunday, there will be an only show on the internet. I said that last week, and there wasn't. This week, for sure, because we need to talk about shows with bad endings.
You're gonna talk about Soul Eater?
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah. That might be one to bring up.
We need a Soul Eater Brotherhood, but I could talk about that for 2 hours.
Yeah. It's just the finale of Ted Lasso aired, and some people thought it was Game of Thrones level bad.
Oh, no.
And others are saying it was the perfect way to end the series, and Bridget and I are like right in the middle. So we want.
I have no horse in this race. I have never watched an episode of Ted Lasso, so I have no horse in that race.
Just watch the first season.
I'll watch the first episode and the last episode and make a snap judgment.
Okay.
I nuance. Everything else is nuance. I can figure it out from there.
So and then next Tuesday, probably more observation duty. I think I'm going to get the Toby eye tracker out for it this time, though.
Oh, that's actually a good idea. That sounds really fun.
Yeah, I think that'll be a fun way to do it. So, thank you everyone for being here, and we will see you the next time Rye Toast and I our schedules meet, and he's not looking after 7 babies.
It'll happen.
It'll happen. Oh, it'll happen sooner than we think. So.
Some famous person at some point said, "Be fruitful and prosper," and I took that to heart. That's
all right, everyone. Bye. You've got to leave now. It's time to go. Get out of my